as opposed to stimulants, which you're stimulating the liver, you're stimulating the pancreas, you're stimulating peristalsis, you know, and that creates innervation on its flip side. So for now, do what you can, work yourself off of it in the future. Get, you know, like chicory root or something, roasted chicory. There's a lot of, they have a lot of herbal formulas that taste just like coffee, but get rid of the milk. Dump that milk. If you're making that milk, coffee taste good with the milk, dump them both. I am Sabotage Man. I don't want to do cold turkey on the coffee. I love coffee. Well, then a mate as well, but tea is too. Yeah, you work to a tea or get a tea that tastes like coffee. Roasted chicory roots taste like coffee. There. How about honey? Yep, you could use honey. I have no problems with honey. It is okay. A lot of people think it's bee vomit, which, you know, however it is. A lot of people have negative aspects of honey. I know a lot of villagers that die for it, but then again, they don't have access to a lot of fruits and berries and things that are other sweet for them as opposed to honey. But I'm not opposed to honey. I personally have burned out on it. I mean, I eat it. I appreciate the honey from Switzerland. Super good honey. Moving to Idaho, appreciate all that honey, and I've been nipping on it. But those are good honeys. But the honeys that I grew up with in my health food stores and stuff, I literally just had too much honey in my life. You know, you can burn out on some things, and honey is one of the things that I burn out on. I don't really overly like the flavor anymore. I don't use it much. But I am dipping on your guys' honey, and it is good. I do love it. Is it okay to have sprouted Ezekiel bread on a couple of times a week? Absolutely. Although, you could take Ezekiel bread and throw it against my drywall, and it'll make a hole in it. So something that hard, even though it's unleavened, something that hard is interesting to me in terms of being healthy for you. How about quinoa? You know, again, you're starting to move down into the grains and down into that sort of area of thinking. You might have a lot of fungus. If you have sulfur, you know you have a lot of fungus, sweetheart. So go after that fungus, and you won't be asking about quinoa and Ezekiel breads and stuff. But a little bit of that, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of that once in a while. If you're detoxing, make that very infrequent. In other words, once a week or twice a week as a pat on the shoulder. Look what I did. You know, I hate to think it in that way because we do treat and, you know, develop those kind of habits. But you know, whatever we can do to break the bond of this conditioning and this misinformation that's packed in our conscious minds or in the causal body, we've got to undo that and wrap it with truth. So do the best. You know, I'm not perfect either, so do the best there. But when you're detoxifying, that's when you need to shinny up and get a little better on your focus. And you're all going to find that, as much judgment as some of you made toward me, you're going to find that in your lives here. Only 1 or 2 people in the world can claim they've been all raw and nothing cooked whatsoever for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I did it for about 15, but I can tell you, it just, and if you're become worldly, if you live in a cave, no problem. Can I eat it with veggies? Quinoa? Yeah, absolutely. How about almond milk for my smoothie? See, you're asking about all the things that I would say yucky to. You're asking all the things, and when you start picking up these things, you're not going to detox well, and you're going to get frustrated. So you're picking up too many things. And I'm the reverse. When you ask me about that, I'm going to actually turn this around on you, sweetheart, and say, you know what, why don't you shuck all this and do better? Why don't you get more fruits, berries, and melons, and then maybe a salad a day and try to go all raw? I mean, I don't know where you're at in detoxing and the like here, but if you really want to get deeper into your body, you've got to let these things go and make them once a week type thing. It's just kind of one of those happy meals that you did it. However, the taste of a big bowl of fruit for me far exceeds a bowl of quinoa. I would not get used to using almond milks or any other milks in smoothies. I would use a true smoothie to me is using a fruit juice base. Apple juice is the most commonly used. I use grape juice, but I use fruit juices as a base. I don't use coconut milks as a base. You could probably use that as a base in a smoothie. I throw coconut in my smoothie, but then but using almond milks and yogurts and stuff, people have to get away from that. And of course, if you buy almond milk You're buying a pasteurized ingredient. If you're going to make almond milk, better. But again, you're talking about very concentrated milk, you know, a very concentrated milk. And so you have to be careful about these highly concentrated protein type drinks, especially if you're in pain or you're hurting or you're full of mucus and stuff. Detoxify yourself and then introduce that in minute amounts in your life and you'll be good. How long should I stay on the stomach and bowel and parasite formula? Well, if you have sulfur in you, you might want to stay on that parasite M for several months. Then you can come off of it, and if you don't have any craving for quinoa and breads and stuff like that, you got a hold of your fungus. But as soon as you start saying, boy, that quinoa sounds good, that's fungus saying, hey, I'm hungry. So then I would go back on parasite M. Stomach and bowel. Depends what your eyes look like. I have people on that for 6 months to a year, if not a lot longer. That's a good formula. There's nothing in there abrasive. It's all healers and really cleans up the bowel. By the way, the second day on the stomach and bowel number 3, I am having bowel movements after eating or drinking my meal. Wow, good deal. Good deal. Well, you're kicking butt there. You know, when you ask me, I'm going to just keep trying to pull you up on this. Listening to talk about neurotoxins, absolutely. It eliminates sulfurs, toxoplasmosis as a child. Oh, Jesus. Oddly, it manifested itself after I smacked my head against a pole riding my bike. Oh, my God. Doctors were not used to seeing that kind of infection. And, well, you know what? That really smacks here of heavy lymphatic toxicity, dear. So, actually, you probably want to eliminate all those things you were asking me about and really get deeper into this here. Shot in my eye, a period on cortisone. Yeah, it sounds like you're not moving your lymph well here, dear. And you go to brother, you're finding the same type of things there. I like your idea about the brain and nervous system for detox. It picks up the nervous system, helps the body to detox better. I would do a lymphatic bowel. I still like the lymphatic 1 capsules. Use one of those and then use a liquid lymphatic, and at the same time you could use kidney number 1 capsule or kidney number 1 and 2 liquid as well. I think really what we have found that more aggression toward kidneys and the lymph system is appropriate. Don't ever forget the endocrine glands. You always have to bring up the adrenals to get the kidneys to filter. So those are some of just the few basic things. And it's not a lot. It's just GI tract, it's lymphatics, it's kidneys, and it's endocrine glands. That's the Fab Four. That encompasses the bulk of the human body, reaching into nervous systems and everything else. So appreciate your post. I'm going to have to break it here, unfortunately, and write this up so Chris can get it on for you. And thank you so much for your questions. I apologize for those that I'm just not getting to. Please, if you're suffering, call in here. We'll help you the best we can. We have staff that has to answer the phone that's not well informed, so don't get upset at us. We have some of the new guys there. They're answering the phone, trying to help answer phones. So hang in there. We're going to help you all.